Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for being patient with me. Not Timmy66 is here, and I appreciate everybody that may tune into this chat. I know that it's been a crazy day for me. I have tried over and over and over again to get this chat working and to get the live working, and I think I finally now have it resolved. So we're going to run this little experiment again. I will definitely leave the live chat up for you so that, well, you can catch it later if you want to. So thank you guys so much, and thank you guys for those of you that have hung out with me and been patient with me. It's greatly appreciated. So, alien agenda. And I'm going to kind of redo this again just because, you know, I didn't do it right the first couple of times. And I'd like to do you guys justice as far as, you know, being able to share with you my information that I have. So, a little bit of research that I've been doing. I've got some books I would like to recommend. The first one that I'd recommend is the one I'm reading currently, and I've got two other ones that I'm going to chime in on and show you. And I haven't read them yet, so if you've read them, let me know. The first one is Imminent by Lou Elizondo. Great book. I'm about halfway through it right now. Interesting read. The next one on my list of reading material is called Penetration, and it's written by a man by the name of Ingo Swann. It's an older book, but it comes highly recommended. It's the question of extraterrestrial and human telepathy. And Ingo Swann, if you're not familiar, was a very prominent remote viewer. And the final that I picked up because it was recommended by a channel I watch called Night Shift is by David Jacobs, PhD, and it's revealing the secret alien agenda. It's called The Threat. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I haven't cracked it yet. Just got it today. So you can see where my interests are lying lately, and that's because there's been so much going on with the media, and also within that, within the media, I mean, you can't turn on News Nation without seeing a advertisement or a Ross Coulthart talking to somebody, Lou Elizondo, or any of these other folks that are out there and very prominent right now. So I'm going to preface this by saying that I don't have all the answers. I'm a seeker, just like every single one of us out there. We don't really know what this alien agenda is, what this this non-human intelligence, NHI, actually is, what they want on Earth. But I'm going to repeat this again, even though I feel like I'm repeating myself 1,000 times, by saying that I don't think it's necessarily any of a direct resource from Earth, that if there are aliens visiting us, and actually aliens that have been here, I believe it's for the Earth itself. We all know there's billions of planets out there now, but I think life-bearing planets like Earth that's in the habitable zone and is just exuding life from every corner, every crack, every crevice, places that you wouldn't even think life could ever exist, the bottom of the ocean, the Arctic, the frost, everything else. Life is plentiful. And I think planets like Earth are very, very rare in that regard. So I would like to open up the chat, and definitely we can talk about anything you want, but these are just the topics that are really on my mind recently. And I'd like to share with you guys several different clips if you would indulge me that. And the first one, I think, kind of sets the stage for, sets the mood, let's put it that way. So let's go ahead and see if I can find this here real quick. Not exactly a professional, as I'm sure you guys are aware by now. This is probably my 10th attempt at doing a live broadcast using OBS software. And it actually finally took my son, my 15-year-old son, to come in here and basically show me the ropes on how to actually get this done and get it done properly. So I hope this is turning out okay for everybody. And, you know, on the replay as well, if you don't catch this. Let me go ahead and pull this up. This is off of a channel called The Night Shift. And he has a short listed on there that I wanted to kind of share with you folks. Bear with me here a moment while I pull this up. And it's just a short little clip. All right, here we go. Let's bear with me. We're going to give this a shot. This is his page. I highly recommend, if you want to go and get really good information, that you go to his channel. He's got a great channel. It's growing in leaps and bounds. Anyway, here's the short.
There's going to be a big event. Something enormous is going to happen. And these people who have been abducted, and there's probably over 100,000 of them, have been given some place to go and something to do. But under our best hypnotic techniques, we cannot find out what it is.
The word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared.
Are we prepared to recognize that we're not at the top of the food chain, potentially?
The aliens are real. They're coming here. They're penetrating our airspace. They're trying to become close to us. The aliens want to become close to us for some reason or another. They want to try to look like us because they know something is coming. What that is, I don't know.
The basic goal seems to be an effort to create a hybrid species, a mix of alien and human. I know this sounds crazy, and yet we get this again and again and again.
There's going to be a big event, something.
All right, so that pretty much sets the stage for this. Aliens are visiting the planet. They've been visiting the planet, some say, for thousands of years. They've been here for a long, long time. There's rumors of bases under the ocean and up in the high altitudes. There's rumors of many, many different races. But what do we really know? And by we, I mean the United States government, not us common folk, but those that are in the loop, so to speak. What do they really, really know about what's been visiting our planet? What's been abducting people? And what's the agenda behind it all? What is the reason that they would be doing these things? Over and over and over again, John Mack was one of the more prominent researchers that delved into the alien abduction. You've got Whitley Strieber, author, and he had his own experience, which he documented in the book Communion, and later, you can argue, a good or bad movie, Communion. What is going on, guys? What is all this stuff about aliens all of a sudden? I mean, you can research it and you can say, well, since 2017, since the Tic Tac incident and the videos were released and stuff like that, you know, that public interest is peaked on this topic, and therefore more and more information is going out because that's what the public wants to consume. You could argue that. I'm not 100% sure. That's why I'm asking everybody here. It's very, very interesting to me, and I wanted to share with you this next clip I'm going to share from you is from the New Paradigm Institute, okay? And it's called More Things in Heaven and Earth, UFO, UAP, Teach. UAP Teach In with Danny Sheehan. And if you don't know who Danny Sheehan is, he is a very, very prominent lawyer in the United States. He currently, I believe, represents David Grush and Dr. Stephen Greer. He's had definite dealings with him, and he also is very deeply embedded and deeply in the know about what's going on. So the New Paradigm Institute has been putting out a series of videos as they do lectures, and they've been going to college campuses to do these lectures. What they're trying to do is stimulate interest with academia within America, to try to get, I guess, in my mind, more minds around what's really going on, more people interested. But I'm going to show you some clips here from this. The first one I wanted to show you is, thank heavens that he has this in chapters, is talking about the different types of species. And here we go. I'll go ahead and play this for you guys. Again, this is Danny Sheehan.
That the UFO phenomenon, at least some of them, are in fact extraterrestrial, non-human spacecraft. The occupants of which are non-human, in that they represent one or more species that are in our galaxy, that are highly intelligent, highly technologically developed, but non-human species, in that they're coming and going from our planet. This here...
And just to interrupt on that, just so you understand where he's coming from, he's talking about what the U.S. government already knows. Okay, so this is a disclosure.
Is the official law, the bill that has been passed by the United States Senate. It's been passed unanimously by the Senate Intelligence Committee. All 17 members of the Senate Intelligence Committee, extremely conservative Republican senators like Marco Rubio of Florida and of Mike Rounds from South Dakota, extremely liberal progressive United States senators like Chuck Schumer from New York, Jack Reed, who is the head of the Senate Armed Services Committee. The entire political spectrum has supported this unanimously. It's been passed virtually unanimously by the United States Senate. And what this bill calls for is it calls for the establishment by the President of the United States of a 9-person panel. And it orders all 6 of our United States military services, Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, U.S. Space Command, and others, all of them, and all 18 of our United States intelligence agencies, not just the Central Intelligence Agency and the Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency, but all 18 of the intelligence agencies of our United States government, and all 32 of the United States Defense Department agencies, to gather together and put into digital format with a searchable index every single piece of information they have about the UFO phenomenon and about the extraterrestrial life form that they understand to be responsible for the UFO phenomenon, to compile all of this, have it put together, and have it available for the delivery to the National Archives by October 20th of 2024. We're talking about 1 month from now as we gather here at Yale University in New Haven.
That's already passed.
1 month from now, the United States Congress has commanded all of those executive branch agencies to gather together this information, to stop lying to the United States Congress, and to make it available to the National Archives. Okay? Now, they are talking about appointing, the United States Senate has demanded that a 9-person panel be appointed by the President of the United States to review all of this information and to make available immediately to the world all of the information that is 25 years old or more.
So, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that's actually ever really going to happen? Or do you think that those that are in charge are going to put the kibosh on that like they seem to have done over and over again? There's such a wealth of information out there in regards to this topic that you can't, in my opinion, you can't doubt the fact that they are in the know and we aren't. So I can tell you guys this much. As a tax-paying citizen, that should upset some people. That should upset us. I mean, that should upset anybody. Is the truth of what is really going on so horrible that we can't stand it? Or, you know, is everybody going to freak out and there's going to be anarchy in the streets? Is all the religions of the world going to collapse? Is there going to be war and pestilence and all this because of this knowledge? Or are they trying to hide the fact that we've been lied to for a long, long time? I don't know the answer to that. I have my own sneaking suspicions, but it's very, very interesting indeed. What do you guys think? What is your opinion on this matter? And thank you guys if you just joined the chat, the live here. It's so appreciated. Again, this is like the second or third time I've ever done this, and I'm doing this with new software that I've never used before. And I'm not exactly Mr. Technical Savvy guy, but I'm learning. So I appreciate everybody sticking with me on this. I really do. Why are they here? Who is here? And what's the agenda? There's another clip I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys off of More Things in Heaven and Earth that talks a little bit about the non-human species. It's a short clip. I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys.
That the UFO phenomenon, at least some of them, are in fact extraterrestrial, non-human
Oh, sorry. Here we go, guys.
Non-human species that are highly intelligent and highly technologically developed, that have in fact been coming to our planet in these craft, and that there are small grays, they call them, about 3.5 feet tall. The classic, if you ask the average fifth grader in the country to draw an ET person, they'll draw the ET person for you. You know, large head, big, huge, dark, oval eyes, 3 fingers, 3.5 feet tall, etc. There are the tall grays that are as high as almost 6 feet tall, that are the exact same version of this. There are the reptilian species. We need to recognize that each and every one of us during our gestation period in our mother's wombs go through a kind of reptilian stage where we have gills and tail and the whole idea, because of the evolutionary process here on our planet of our species, that we pass through a reptilian stage in the zygote as we develop in our mother's wombs. What appears to have happened is elsewhere in our galaxy, one of the species has actually, at that particular point in their evolutionary process, have in fact branched out into higher and higher intelligence and become highly technologically developed. And I've actually talked directly to people who stood face to face with a 6 feet tall reptilian being, standing right in the living room with. Okay, first of all, I got to say that that's fascinating. And I was reading underneath this, it says that the
This event served as the inaugural session of a pioneering initiative to evaluate the academic disclosure surrounding unidentified anomalous phenomena, commonly known as UFOs or UAPs, at a time when the U.S. government has begun taking active steps to provide incontrovertible evidence that alien technology and entities exist. First of all, let me say I think it's really cool that they're taking it on an academic level. I think what they're trying to do is remove any further stigma involved in this topic and move it along to a topic of serious discussion. And they're trying to invite more scientific minds, more free-thinking people into the fold, so to speak. Because let's face it, the more minds you have on the problem, the more answers that you're going to have, that are going to come to light. Because you just have more people that are able to look at the problem and evaluate it differently. It's fascinating stuff. Let me share one other thing with you guys. There's supposedly 5 different species. I wanted to play this about the alien bases as well. And again, keep in mind, now this is purportedly that this is all U.S. government knowledge that he's disclosing here. So let's go take a look at this, and then we'll check the chat. Let's see if I can find it here.
That the UFO.
Okay, I think we'll start it right here.
These species actually exist. They've been coming and going from our planet from at least 1945, on that date of July 16th of 1945, when we detonated the first atomic bomb on our planet. We know this to be true, and very importantly, we know that our United States military and our United States intelligence agencies know about this. And we also know that it appears that these different species have bases here on our planet, high up in the remote mountain regions where they're away from all of the people's observations, and very remarkably, under the seafloors on our planet. There is one of these bases just down off Baja in California, down off south of Los Angeles, off Baja, off a place called Guadalupe Island. And the USS Nimitz, a full battle carrier group, that was placed there to monitor them. They monitored over 100 of these UFOs coming and going, coming down from outer space and going under the water at that.
Over 100, guys, out of one base. Wrap your mind around that. They had to have been here for a long time. It's incredible.
That the UFO phenomenon, at least some of them, are in fact extraterrestrial. Intelligence agencies know about them.
I'm sorry, I'm moving this forward a little bit.
Off Baja in California, being monitored from females, been abducting.
Okay, well, we'll get into the abduction piece next. I wanted to share that with you because to me, that's just flat out amazing. It's flat out amazing that they have bases here. What's even more flat out amazing, excuse me just a moment. What's even seems to be more flat out amazing to me is that our government knows this stuff. We've known it for a long time. So, back when I did the video, Something Big is Coming, it's already been here, right? Maybe? What do you think? Let's check the chat. Sorry, I'm old. I had to put my glasses on to read this. Um, S7 IC 3Y. I'm sorry, I'm massacring that. Says my grandfather was in the Air Force, and me and my dad went to an Air Force base in Vegas. We are from Sweden. I am half American and half Swedish, and he told us about the gray aliens and that they were real and they speak like us. And he wanted the family to know this. I can't remember the name of the base, but I have a picture with one of the black airplanes. Ooh, I'll bet you that's rare. And Harold Wade, I've had many experiences both in the service, before and after. The activity stopped once I got into my 50s. Sticky, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you, Sticky. I was massacring your name there. But Harold, you said that you had many experiences both in service and before and after, but the activity's now stopped since you've reached your 50s. That's the other piece of this that seems so amazing to me, is they seem to choose specific people. They seem to pick certain people to abduct. They seem to pick certain individuals. And as John Lear said in that very first clip that we saw, nobody knows why, and they seem to embed something in their brains, not physically embed, but a psychological trigger, let's just call it, where when it's the right time, they're supposed to do something. A lot of these abductees state they're not sure, they don't know what it is, but they know they have a job to do. What is that? Harold Wade said I would say more, but I signed a non-disclosure documents. I understand that. We don't want to get anybody in trouble here at all, Harold. By the way, thank you for your service, sir. It's much appreciated. I don't know if a lot of people say that as much anymore, but I certainly appreciate your service and your sacrifice for this country, sir. Thank you. It's greatly appreciated. And I certainly wouldn't want you to get in any kind of trouble. I don't want you to reveal any more than you can, because we definitely don't want to threaten any retirement you may be having coming in or anything else like that. We don't want to get any kind of legal issue at all. All this really is, guys, is kind of like a campfire. We're all sitting around and we're talking about it. And this is for basically a den of, I guess, what people would call nerds, people that like to explore this topic like I do. So really no ideas are out of bound here. Don't feel that you can't express your opinion. Just do it respectfully. Sticky said, I had experiences too. I did not write anything. So we have some experiencers that are watching this, and that's very, very interesting to me. I wonder what it is about those folks that they choose. You know, if you ask most of the abductees, I'm sure if I talk to an abductee like I'm speaking to you now and said, what makes you so special that they would target you or single you out over all the billions of people on this planet, nobody really knows the answer to that. But I think that might be a key. If we could figure that part of it out, it might tell us a little bit more about what the actual agenda is. Sticky says that she's seen the orange glowing balls or orbs, I think they're called. There's a recent story that came out not too long ago with an F-22 Raptor that was actually forced out of its target area on a practice mission by orbs. It surrounded the plane, and no matter which way the plane turned, jinked up or down, turned to the left, turned to the right, whatever the pilot could do to try to shake these orbs, they stayed exactly with the plane. I'm not sure how close in they were to the plane, but think of that technology. Sticky says that you do see them every winter there in Sweden. Wow. That's amazing to me. That's really amazing. That's incredible. And see, that's the thing. I mean, us Americans, we think, oh, it's just here in the U.S. It's not. It's worldwide. Look at what's happened in Peru. Some of the villages that have actually been under attack, and that's going to be the topic of one of my next videos about that. It's a worldwide phenomenon. It's not just Americans. It's not just Europeans. It's not just whoever. It's the entire human race. And here's some more speculation. If they're coming to this planet to stop us from, it's been said, the global warming issue, the nuclear war, and stuff like that, then it's going to be such a huge paradigm shift for all of us, right? We're going to realize that we are no longer the big dogs on the block anymore. And we're also going to have to realize that we are not as technologically savvy or as advanced as we once thought that we were. Do you think they might be coming as overlords or protectors? Do you think they're here to stop us from harming ourselves and usher in a utopia? Or do you think they really don't care about the human race? We're kind of like ants on an anthill. They care more about the anthill itself, the earth itself. And we may just be something that if we don't stop, they'll take care of. I'm not trying to spread any fear or anything like that, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. It's a strong possibility. So Sticky says that going back to the orbs, the orange balls, that you don't see them every day, but how often do you stand and watch the sky for hours? That's true. And Harold Wade said they do not have our best interests in mind. Well, that's what Lou Elizondo seems to think, Harold. To be 100% honest with you, he's made several things. Time is not a luxury that we have. He has said that the conversation needs to be had about what's about to happen, but it's not his conversation to have. What is that about? I don't think they do have human interests in mind. I think they have the earth in mind. I mean, look at the abductions. That's one thing I was going to play for everybody. Let me see if I can get to that. What they actually do to humans. See if I can find that here. Here we go. All right, let's watch this little clip part right here too. Bear with me here. Here we go.
Underneath the seafloor there off Baja, very, very importantly, re-implanting them.
Here we go. Sorry guys. Again, technologically challenged here.
Actually involuntarily remove.
Okay.
Members of these species have in fact been abducting human beings over the past 75-year period. They actually appear over people's homes in the night. They actually take people into custody involuntarily. They actually involuntarily remove egg cells from females, sperm cells from males, and what they're doing is they're taking these 24 chromosome egg cells and sperm cells, and they're combining them with 24 chromosomes of their ET genetic material, and then they're reimplanting them in the uterus of the human women, and allowing the zygote to evolve for the full trimester. And then these human women are being abducted again and taken into custody, and the zygotes are being removed, and they're no longer pregnant after the second abduction. And these hybrid children are in fact being brought to full term by the ET people, and that the people that are involved in that include not only the short grays and the tall grays, but also the mantis people. That I'm just telling you what it is that the United States intelligence agencies know is going on.
Wow. That right there, to me, is not only frightening, but it's very telling. So when we talk about the fact that they may not have our best interests at heart, it's almost like, we experiment with animals, right? Let's check the chat. See what's going on in the chat. So the last thing I read was Harold said that they do not have our best interest in mind. And then Harold Wade said, if I get to Texas, I would enjoy to meet you with no cell phones and talk. Absolutely, Harold. If you ever head this way, let me know. You can always reach out to me on my email, which is listed on my channel page. That's probably one of the better ways to get in touch with me. I check that regularly. So when you hear stories about abductions and impregnating women and then bringing them back up into their vehicles, removing the fetuses and then bringing it to term, and that's definitely somebody that does not have the human race best interest in mind, in my opinion. So while there may be a lot of technological advantages to meeting these non-human intelligences, what's the trade-off? What are we going to lose? See, I just don't believe that if they actually come to Earth and say, hey, stop warming the Earth up, and hey, get rid of your nukes and stuff like that, that they're just going to trust us to do it on our own. I get a sense that they're going to be our new overlords. And how is the human race going to react to that? Will we even have a choice? I don't know. Broomstick says, and welcome Broomstick. Welcome to all you guys, by the way. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm new to the live thing, and I'm probably not being as professional and polished as you see others do. But anyway, so welcome to Sticky, welcome Harold Wade, and welcome Broomstick. I think it would all Broomstick says, I think it would all depend on the experience. There are just as many good ones as there are bad. Okay. And that's also been cited as true. That I've heard that the reptilians really don't have any interest of the humans in best interest of the human species in mind, but the Nordics, the tall whites, do. Sticky says, I just think that with that tech, it's not going to be alien governments. It will be clans. That's an interesting point. But how much of that technology do you think that they'd really be willing to share? Do you think that, do you think that a super intelligent species that really doesn't have the humans' best interests at heart are going to share enough to get us powerful enough that we may be able to, say, fight back or stand on our own 2 feet against them? I don't think so. And maybe that's part of the reason for all the secrecy. Well, not maybe. I think it's because the bottom line is that our government, the people in the know, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, really does not have all the answers. And they don't want to talk about something that they don't have all the answers for, number one, because part of their job is to protect us. Right? So, guess coming up on Halloween, this is the good topic to broach, because to me, it's pretty scary. And keep in mind all of the things that I'm showing you on this video from Danny Sheehan and the New Paradigm Institute are purportedly facts. They're not speculation. They're facts, according to the New Paradigm Institute, according to Danny Sheehan. I'm not doubting him. I'm just reminding you that this isn't just me sitting here speculating or you sitting here speculating. These are known facts by our government or world governments as well. Yes, Harold, you're right. Harold Wade said they don't want to discuss because they have no control, and that's correct. Always got to have that control, don't we? Sticky says, give that tech to basically orcs, humans. Would you give it to us? Very good point. Look at what we've done with the tech that we've gotten so far. How long do you think it would take the U.S. military or any other military, Chinese, the Russians, whoever, name your bad guy? I'm not going to get political here, but how long do you think it would take for them to turn whatever wonder weapon there could be? I mean, some wonderful technology into a wonder weapon is what I'm trying to say. How long do you think that would take? It wouldn't take long at all. And here's another point for you. What if they did introduce to us free energy, right? 0 point energy, that we could pull it out of the cosmos itself. How willing would our oil producing friends be to give up their control and the billions and billions of dollars they're bringing in so that everybody on this planet could have free energy? Can you imagine what that would do to the poor and the impoverished? It would give them such a leg up, it would be incredible. Even to the middle class here in America, it would give us a leg up. If we didn't have to worry about the cost of heating our homes, the cost of electricity, the cost of gasoline to get back and forth to work. If that was all free, it would boost us up. I don't know if they want that. Sad state of affairs. There was one other clip I wanted to share with you guys, and it's kind of a long one, so let me see if I can't pull this one up here. All right, here we go, guys. Bear with me here while I pull this up.
So we've come here today to talk with you about this, because the fact of the matter is that we know that there is a group that has been set up deep inside the national security state infrastructure here in the United States. It was originally set up by President Truman in July of 1947. It's called the Majestic Group.
MJ-12, baby.
People on this, that it's outside of all the constitutional framework of our United States constitutional government. It's set up independently of any oversight by Congress. They have been supervising this program secretly this entire time. And what's happened is the private aerospace corporations have been put into possession of some of this technology from these downed UFOs, and they are attempting to back engineer this technology to make weapons systems out of it. not to provide alternative sources of energy for people because they view it will disrupt the petroleum-based industries of our planet. All of our military services.
What did I say, guys? Disrupt our petroleum-based economy. We're not ready for that.
Except for the nuclear submarines and the nuclear aircraft carriers, run on petroleum, and so they don't want to disrupt the petroleum-based economy. So they're concealing this information from the people. This task force, this majestic task force, has been continuing to conceal this information. So what we've done at the New Paradigm Institute, we have crafted a major federal racketeering act. Civil complaint. We're in the process of finalizing that now to potentially launch against them, just as we did the Federal Criminal Racketeering Act that we launched against the off-the-shelf enterprise in the Iran-Contra case. We are the ones who initiated that major federal criminal racketeering lawsuit against the group that was working with Oliver North. We exposed them. We forced the public hearings, the Iran-Contra hearings. It resulted in the indictment of 6 of the major administrative members of the Reagan-Bush administration for lying to Congress about that event. I was one of the attorneys that represented the New York Times in the Pentagon Papers case back in 1971, and that we won the litigation against them. I was one of the legal team members for the New York Times that won that right. You know, we're the ones that did the major lawsuit at the 3 Mile Island facility to stop them from pumping the radioactive waste materials from the 3 Mile Island nuclear meltdown, that they were going to pour the radioactive effluents into the Susquehanna River. Our office has been engaged in these. We're the ones that did the Karen Silkwood case that ended up shutting down the private nuclear reprocessing plant that they had in Cimarron, Oklahoma, from which they were smuggling 98% pure bomb-grade plutonium to the state of Israel to secretly create nuclear weapons for Israel and for Iran at the same time under the Shah of Iran. That our office has done this type of litigation in the past, and we're the ones that are working now to bring forth this information to the American people. We're drafting legislation. One of the other major acts that's now in front of the House of Representatives is this particular act right here. This is the 2005 UFO whistleblower enhancement protection statute to protect UFO whistleblowers, to stop them from being retained.
Wow. Talk about credentials, right? This guy, Danny Sheehan, has got some serious skin in the game. And it's encouraging to me that he seems to have, I don't know him personally or anything like that, but he seems to have humanity's best interests in mind. And he seems to be going up against something that he's going to have to force an issue. If I was Danny Sheehan, I'd be a little bit worried. I'd worried about a little bit of a target on my back, because he's not only just threatening to uncover lies, but he's also threatening the petroleum industry with this. He's threatening to upset an entire apple cart of the way things are done. It's incredible. Back to the chat here. Okay, so Sticky said, I think that the orbs... I gotta put my glasses back on. Sorry, guys. So Sticky says, I think that the orbs is a security system to keep us in check if we figure out the UFO tech, like planetary prison or whatever you want to call it. My wife just came in and handed me... I'm in trouble now. I'm not in trouble. I'm in good trouble because I just got handed candy. We might be up all night, guys. Woohoo! Thank you, honey. My wife's always thinking of me. Love her to death.
But all these is better prices.
Okay.
That dark chocolate is
So
$4 where it's only $1.50 out.
So the thing is that the New Paradigm Institute and Danny Sheehan and all those are really, really pushing the envelope. And so, I'm sorry. So Sticky said, I think the orbs is a security system to keep us in check. If we figure out the UFO tech like planetary prison or what you want to call it. Harold Wade, all of my sons who are serving around the world have experiences. That is across many branches. Wow. Sticky, I don't think it's a question of if they are here, but what do they want? Oil energy is power. Yeah, nice, Sticky. I mean, I got some royal dark chocolate here, and I don't know if you guys like Reese's. Like I said, I'm in trouble. I'll be on a sugar high for the next, and I've got to get up for work at 4:30 in the morning. I work tomorrow. So I'm sorry, guys. Back to the comments and back to the topic at hand. I'm easily distracted by candy. But Danny Sheehan and the New Paradigm Institute, and I'm not threatening in any way, shape, or form, I'm just making an observation, are really going to be pushing the envelope. I mean, they're doing these tech or teach talks, they call them, at Yale University. They're also broadcasting to other universities. They're trying to reach out to as many people as possible to get the word out. And again, I think it comes back to a simple matter of, we get the word out to more people, there's going to be more minds involved, more people thinking about it, just like us talking about it now. We come up with all different kinds of ideas. It's incredible, the times that we live in. I mean, at my age, I never ever thought I would see the day when we could actually see this kind of... I've followed UFOs my entire life, ever since I was a kid. When I was a kid, back in the 70s and 80s, one of my favorite things to do in the summertime, and I grew up in Nebraska, and we lived in a small town in Nebraska, so we didn't have a whole lot of big city light pollution. But on clear summer nights, I would get a lawn chair, grab my dog, grab a soda, and I would go out and I would lay back and I would just stare at the stars. And I'd wonder, who's out there? I don't know if any of you guys ever did this, but so my interest in aliens, not just science fiction and everything else, but the real possibility of aliens, has been a lifelong passion of mine. And it seems to be coming to fruition now. But I really don't think that disclosure is going to go down with them landing on the White House lawn. I don't think it's going to be the scenario that we've seen in Independence Day with the massive ships appearing suddenly over all of our cities. It may, but I think it's going to be a lot more subtle than that. And I feel that disclosure has been going on for a long time. And whatever it is about the people that have been chosen to be abducted, forget about the alien implantation and extraction of eggs and male sperm and the reproductive program, I guess you would call it. Forget about all that for a minute. But just the people that they've embedded something in their minds that they're going to wake up at a certain point because they know they have a job to do. I don't think those people are crazy. I don't think they're nuts. I don't think they asked for it. But I think that it's almost like an incursion. You know how you may go in and try to like propagandize, like if we were going to go invade another country or what have you, we would do a lot of propaganda. Oh, your government's terrible, your government's done this. This might be a subtle way for them to propagandize. I don't know. It's something that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. It's incredible. It really is. I'm going to check the stream because everything seems... Is everything laggy, or can you guys hear me okay? It looks like everything's okay. So far. I can't believe I actually pulled this off, guys. I mean, I just got the microphone stand and the setup, and I figured out, well, I didn't figure it out. My 15-year-old son had to help Dad figure out how to run OBS and hook it up to YouTube and all these other things. So always greatly, greatly appreciative. But it's incredible the times we live in, isn't it? It really makes you stop and think. And for me, I think that things are really going to change. And I think they're going to change in such a major way, like Lou Elizondo has alluded to, that even though it may not be his conversation to have, he's already stated flat out, time's not a luxury that we have, or something along those lines. So what it does for me is it makes me really appreciate every single day I have with my family, with you guys. And I think it was Leslie Keene or someone else that said she couldn't really talk about it, but she just said a lot of the things, and it was in some interview that I can't remember now where I saw it, or I'd play the clip for you, where she said basically there's a lot of things that we take for granted that we're not going to have anymore pretty soon. And when they tried to lock her down on exactly what that was, she kind of begged off and said, I don't have enough information on it to be clear. But I get the sense that time, like Elizondo said, like Lou Elizondo said, is probably, you know, we wake up every day and we figure, well, I'll do that next week or next year. Next year I'll plan that vacation. Next year I will get that motorcycle I love. You know, 6 months from now we'll take that cruise that we've always wanted to take. I think what they're trying to tell us, those that are in the know without really telling us, is get on that cruise now. Do the things that you love now. Because I think our world view and our entire apple cart is about ready to be upset, flipped over. It's thank you, Sticky. Sticky said that my stream's coming through good. Great, I appreciate that. So what the what, guys? What is... I'm sorry, I picked that up from my son. What the what? He thinks he's so cool. These youngsters today. Just some food for thought tonight on this stream, and I wanted to reach out to everybody. I'm so grateful for everybody that was able to join the chat, and I'm also grateful for those of you that tried to watch my lives earlier today, because I'm not kidding you guys. I made like 9 or 10 attempts at this before I did this one here. One I will actually leave up on my channel for later viewing. So I'm so grateful. I'm having a blast. I hope you guys are too. Back to the chat. Sticky said aliens do not really that strange. If you think about nature, aliens is just a bigger span of nature. A dog seeing a cat is like us seeing an alien. Okay? And Harold Wade says time is not on our side. Live every day to its fullest potential. All we have is the moment. And that's true. I mean, alien threat or not, really, all we really have is today, right? Make the most of each day. And not plugging any of my older videos, but one of the things that I always do about staying happy anyway is just always being thankful for everything that I have every single day. Even when I've got to go do something, like I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning and go to work tomorrow, but I'm grateful for that job. I may not be grateful when the alarm goes off. However, I wake up, sit up in bed, drink a glass of water, rehydrate myself, kind of flip that switch, and go to the Creator and say, thank you so much for another day on this earth. Thank you for my health. And I look at my sleeping wife and I say, thank you for her. And I see my sleeping son and my sleeping dogs and the quiet of the house. Thank you for the roof over my head. Thank you for everything that I have. So if you're putting something off, my advice would be to not put things off. Sticky says, don't be afraid. We will all die. Love is the strongest force in the universe. And I absolutely 1000% agree with that. And I'm not afraid. Not really. I just think that, honestly, we have a right to know. And I'm sorry, guys, what pisses me off about that is, who is the government anyway? Here in the United States, who's the government? Well, they're elected officials and unelected officials. But when it comes right down to it, they're human beings just like the rest of us. What gives them the right to know more than what we have the right to know? I don't think it's fair. And I also think that this assumption that we couldn't handle it, or that we're all going to freak out and go into mass panic and stuff like that, is all BS. I'm sorry. Not trying to get on a soapbox here, but it irks me that others think that they know more than the rest of us, when really they don't. And the only reason, and honestly, if we knew more, we'd be more prepared, wouldn't we? And we could put more scientific minds. We could put more philosophical minds. We could put more religious minds. We could put more of the human race on the problem and come up with some solutions. Sticky, okay, so I'm sorry, Harold Wade. It's more than the U.S. government. That's interesting. Who is it then? And Sticky says, are you afraid of before you were born? Tradition and human greed. Yeah. And looks like QSO 356 has just jumped in. Thank you. Hello. Thank you for joining. There is a meme out there that says, at this point, if I get picked up by aliens, I'm just going to go ahead and consider it a rescue mission instead of an abduction. Bravo. Right on the money there. Sticky says there's evil in the universe. Harold Wade says read about ancient history and Eastern religions. Okay. QSO 356, that was a good one. A little levity never hurts on these topics, that's for sure. I was getting kind of serious, wasn't I? I apologize. I can go off on tangents because it's not that I hate the United States government or anything like that. I just don't like the way it's run, and I don't like the government trying to treat me like I'm better off not knowing. Like they know what's best for me. You know? Sticky says, really good info from Harold. You'll know a lot more of the big picture. Okay, I definitely will delve into that. So, Harold, let me ask you this. Read about ancient history and Eastern religions. Anything in particular that you'd like me to zero in on? Because I definitely will. Like I said, guys, I'm a seeker. I want to know as much as I possibly can. I'm a seeker, and I am all about finding out the truth. I think I know part of the big picture, but I'm not 100% sure. Hindu books. Okay. Thank you, Harold. I'll take a look at those. Definitely. It's an incredible time we live in, guys. It's an incredible... I mean, when I got the big boost on this channel is when I put out the videos. Sorry, I've got like a gnat or a fly in here. I live in Texas, and we're still in the 90s out here. I don't know what your temperatures are like where you guys are at, but we still got... And some little gnat. You know how gnats get attracted to light, so... I got one buzzing around me. So if you see me doing this every now and then, I'm not wigging out. I promise. I'm just trying to shoo a gnat. So Hindu books, and Sticky gave a big thumbs up on that. Okay. It's very, very interesting to think that they know more than us. Well, or that they know better than us, I should say. I don't think they do. I think that the government's had everything so compartmentalized, and nobody knows what, one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing for so long, that they have missed the boat on a lot of opportunities by opening it up to more scientific minds, more research, different perspectives on things. That's how I feel about it. Harold Wade, reread the Bible with a different mindset. The Egyptian Book of the Dead is good also. Okay. Now Harold, you say with a different mindset. Maybe a historical perspective? Or maybe I'm off base there. I don't know. You can correct me. Don't I'm no genius. Just trying to figure it out like the rest of us. But that's interesting. I'm just stuck on the fact that they think that they know what's best for us, like they're the namby-pamby know-it-alls, and we're just the children. Bugs me. So, got another comment. QSO 356. Sorry, I'm late to the party here, but can you kindly bring me up to speed on what your personal belief is about the existence of aliens? Do you believe they are here and walk among us in human form? You know, for a long time, that was a tough subject for me. I believe that the aliens are here. You can listen, and there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube that talk about hybrids. Richard Dolan talks about it. Well-respected UFO researcher. I would have to say yes. I do believe that they probably do walk among us. I think it took them a long time. I think that's part of the hybrid program where they're taking female eggs and male sperm and doing a development of fetuses along with their biological mixture. I think that was a part of it. I think they were trying to perfect that. I think that you could probably walk right by one on the street and never ever know. I think it took them a while to get to human form, but they got there. And just an aside, why does everybody always think that the next presidential candidate is going to release all the information, the goods on UFOs, when they can't even release what happened to JFK? Just an aside. Sticky said, I think the Bible is a historical book with good morals. Like many... I'm sorry, glasses again. I know, I keep forgetting to put my eyeballs on. Let me try this again. Sticky says, I think the Bible is a historical book with good morals. Like many NDEs say, God is not a Christian. Jesus is. That's an interesting viewpoint. And Harold Wade says the book is very special and holds many secrets. Yes. That's agreed. And actually, I'm like on my 9th time through the Bible again. That's a part of my daily reading. QSO, thank you, Tim. I also believe that's highly possible. Yeah. If you'd asked me a couple of years ago, I would have said, no, that's pushing it a little bit far. That's like what was the show where the guy would put on the shades and be able to see everything? They Live. I thought that was it. By the way, I love that movie. But I was like, that's just science fiction. But actually now, no, I think it's real. And I think they're actually influencing people. I really do. It's amazing the world we live in, isn't it? All walks of life. It's incredible. I just think that we should be able to know what the truth really is. Now, when it comes to like military secrets and how we actually obtain certain information and national security and things like that for the United States or for other countries, I agree with that as well. We don't want people that don't like us very much knowing what our latest and greatest radar, our greatest surveillance and surveillance techniques are, what our latest equipment is and things like that. I know that we have to guard against that. So I'm not for releasing that, but I'm just saying, lay it out on the table. Say, okay, this program started here. Guys, there has to be a reason why the Pentagon had a program for as long as it did. I don't think it ever really stopped since Roswell. I think they've been looking into this since Roswell, and it's just been kept under wraps. Don't even get me started on Blue Book, Project Blue Book. That was ridiculous. There's another flip side to this too, that people are saying, oh, see, this is all just a government hype thing, and that this is a setup for Project Bluebeam. If you're not familiar with that's where the government is supposed to actually, our governments are supposed to actually usher in a new world order by bringing everyone together under pretense of a false alien attack. There's some that really believe that as well. I'm not so sure on this one. I could be wrong, but again, I'm not 100% sure. So Harold Wade says, read it with the mindset of extraterrestrial. I honestly can not discuss more on this platform. I do not know everything, but I know enough for worldview. Okay. The mindset of an extraterrestrial. I get what you're saying, Harold. Wow. See? That's what I'm talking about. I never ever would have thought about that. But look what happens when we share information with each other. All kinds of new ideas, all kinds of new thoughts, all kinds of different ways of looking at things. They suddenly appear. Because we, the people of this world, are just as smart and probably smarter than our government overlords are. That's for sure. Thank you for that, Harold. And I don't want to get you in trouble. Harold Wade, I keep deleting my text, so I guess I'm done. I will be coming to Fort Worth this summer. Hope you're close to that. See, I live in Fort Worth, definitely. look me up. It's not timmy66@gmail.com. And anybody else that watches it, if you feel that you want to really get through to me, send me anything. I don't have a website set up yet. I need to get one set up. But for now, if you want to send me something, any information, if we want to set up some kind of a meet and greet where we can all get together and talk sometime, or just one-on-one if you want to have a conversation with me in a more secured format than this, definitely hit me up on my email. It's not timmy66@gmail.com. It's a dedicated email for this channel. Harold, I appreciate everything that you've contributed to all of you guys, but Harold, I really appreciate it, because I know you probably got close to going out on a limb and you're under some restrictions that could have some serious repercussions. So Harold, I appreciate you more than you know. And all of you that have joined this chat have given me food for thought. Sticky says, texts do not disappear. Everything is stored on a server. I work in IT. Oh, well, one of my best friends works in IT as well, Sticky. And Harold says, me too. Well, geez, where were you guys when I was trying to set all this crap up? Just kidding. You guys probably been like, you just do this and this and this. Boop. There you go, Tim. Yeah, nothing's secure. I got my phone sitting right here and it's off right now. Still being listened to. Probably making myself a target by doing this live. Though I've heard that they have this new phone out called Unplugged, and I've seriously thought about getting it. It's supposed to really protect you. So the government listens in on us. They spy on us. They read our texts. They invade our private lives, but yet we can't know what they know. And who's the government? In any country. It's just people. Just saying. It's crazy. I had a lot of fun on this. I think I'm going to go ahead. I've been on for an hour and about an hour and 20 minutes. And this has been so much fun. I don't want to stop. I think that the sharing of ideas and actually being able to reach out to you guys and you guys being able to chat with me back and forth is invaluable, especially in this situation. You know, we're just, people would call us geeks, people would call us tinfoil hat conspiracists, whatever. You know, one of the guys I'd like to watch on YouTube, he has a channel called Night Shift, and I definitely recommend his channel. He's so much more professional, more polished than I am, and he gets great guests and he has great insights. I don't necessarily agree with everything he has to say, but for the most part he really opens it up well. But one of the things he always says is that, you know how, like, you know, you got family members that when you start talking about this stuff, they just kind of walk away, or friends that go, yeah, whatever, and kind of tune you out or whatever. He says that his lives and his channel and his program itself is just basically for a bunch of nerds getting together and being able to chit chat about stuff. And I'd like to copy that as well, because I think he's absolutely right. I think the more we can talk about it, the more sense of community that we can have, and the more minds we can put towards this problem, the better off we're going to be. I really do. I just feel it. I think everybody has a right to their own opinion, and I don't think anybody really is wrong. You may not agree with them or not, but they should at least have a voice. Sticky says, no, it's not off. Oh, I know it's not. And why do you think they made phones so that you can't take the battery out? Unplugged has actually this is not an unplugged phone. This is just a regular Android phone. But Unplugged actually has a kill switch that'll disconnect the battery from the phone. But I'm sure they've got some other type of surveillance. This microphone right here is probably a prime example of this computer, you know. But how else are we supposed to chat? I'm not saying anything that I'm worried about. And to be honest with you guys, if I really knew something, I would spill the beans. Because I think we have a right to know. I think it's our, not just American right or whatever nationality you are or whatever country you hail from. I think it's a human right. I don't know. But you guys have given me excellent food for thought. I'm definitely going to delve into the Eastern religions more, and I'm also going to, as Harold said, read the Bible with a different mindset. And I'll start that actually probably tomorrow morning. Very, very interesting. God, I just love that. Nothing better than community. Well, guys, I want to thank you very much. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. There's a lot more to be said. I'm going to try to do this every Saturday. Okay, I'm going to try to go ahead and go live every Saturday. I promise you, I will try very hard to get much better at notifications and not have so many technical issues. So and again, I have to apologize because it had to have been frustrating to be watching something and then all of a sudden it cuts off, and I'm doing my best. Sticky says, I have said everything I know, but I know something is up. Thank you for a nice stream and have a nice evening. On that note, I think we're going to end it. Thank you, Sticky. Thank you, Harold. Thank you, QSO356. Thank you, all you guys, for joining in. And for those of you that may catch the stream later, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Harold says, sleep well, brother, and have a great Sunday. You as well, Harold. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution, all of you guys, for contributing to this and making this a success for my third time around on doing a live, and they will get better. I appreciate you sticking with me. Go back and check out some of my other videos if you're interested. Make sure you leave a like, and stupid bug. Sorry, got a gnat in here, as I mentioned. Leave a like, comment, share if you'd like. And Broomstick, I didn't forget. I'm so sorry. You've been quiet and I didn't scroll back up in the chat. Again, Mr. Professional right here. Broomstick, thank you again for your contribution as well. I'm so sorry. If I forgot anybody else, let me just see. Broomstick, QSO 356, Harold, Sticky, Harold Wade, Sticky. Did I miss anybody else? Nope. Not so far anyway. Broomstick says, yes, I'm a bit quiet and I know a lot, but I have to feel everyone else out first. Laugh out loud. I got you. Yeah. So guys, thank you for making this a huge success. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope everybody has a great rest of your Saturday evening, depending on what time you are, Sunday morning, whatever time it is. If I can't figure out how to attach my stream properly, I certainly don't know the time zones. But I thank everybody so much again for watching. Everybody have a wonderful night, and everybody take care, okay? And we will see you again real soon. Keep an eye on the community comments. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss anything. And we'll see you later.